here to be in His presence once again and to learn something from His Word, a revelation that we could apply to our lives each and every day. Now, the word of wisdom for today is burdens. Now, if any of you decide to ever run a race, you won't run the race with 9 layers of clothing on you. You wouldn't be able to win. You wouldn't wear 9 layers of clothing. That would turn into a disaster. You might as well be in last place. But people who run races strip down to the bare essentials, whether it be a t-shirt, shorts, and the best and fastest sneakers that they possibly have. They don't want to carry anything that they absolutely need in order to guarantee them success. In Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, it says, "Let us strip off anything that slows us down or holds us back, and especially those sins that wrap themselves so tightly around our feet and trip us up. And let us run with patience the particular race that God has set before us." Each and every one of you, whether you realize it or not, are in a race. And this is how the Bible constantly describes the Christian life. And because everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, each of us has a unique race that we must run for God. Just like runners shouldn't carry extra baggage when they run their race, we shouldn't either when it comes to being a Christian. To become a person that God wants you to be, you must let go of some stuff first in order to make your burdens as light as they possibly can. They start with making sure that you're running your particular race according to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Before you can run your God-given race, you must discard of everyone else's plan for your life. Many times people try to dictate your life by making suggestions or forcefully making decisions for you. And sometimes we succumb to that. Maybe sometimes we follow their guidance instead of following God's. And once that happens, we go on a completely different route and we stray from the original race that God has for us. Now, in that itself is not harmful, but then again, it delays God's purpose in your life the more and more you get sidetracked from the race that He has for you. Only you, and you alone, can run your own race. But you have to get rid of anything that drags you down and gives you any sort of burden. You have to eliminate the sins, the temptations, and overcome them, and eliminate the sins that entangle you each and every day. You have to get rid of your expectations and your expectations of others, and not let that bring you down. Many times we go through life worrying about the opinions of others. We worry about people's regard of others, whether or not we're making the right decision, and if they're going to think badly of us. And we make our decisions according to people's feelings. But who are they to say who's best for your life when the Master of the universe has a perfect plan already built out for you? You have to let go of your own plans, your own luxuries, your own desires, and surrender each and every one of us to God's purpose. When you can do all that, you're basically telling God indirectly, I am ready to become the person that you have called me to be, and I am ready to run the race that you have for me the best that I possibly can. While I was at Red Lion, we would have scripture memory pretty much every week, and they would have 3 cycles, A, B, and C. But one verse that they would constantly repeat in these cycles is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. Where it's a very powerful verse, one of my favorite verses in the Bible, where Peter basically says that you must cast your burdens on God because He cares for you. Many times we are stuck, and sometimes we are overtaken by our own stresses, our own weaknesses, and we are slowed down. But we never realize that there is a God who's been standing there, sitting there, being with you at all times, just waiting to take on your burden. God never says that this life on earth you must do by yourself, but rather you have your Heavenly Father there to carry the burden. And I guarantee you 100% that if you let go of that burden, you put your faith in Jesus Christ, it alleviates the pain that you are feeling. Once you do that, once you let go of the burdens, then you can truly see what you are capable of for God. But until you let go of your stresses, people's expectations of you, your burdens, whatever it may be, then God is not going to work the best that He can in your life. especially during this time period. The kids, especially me too, are in school, college, and we are in the process of doing well on our assignments, our homework, tests, and quizzes. And there are many times, each and every day, where we are filled with stress and anxiety. Especially for the corporate world, you might have a new project coming up, whatever it may be. But if you decide to take on your life by yourself, you'll never be able to amount and overcome and succeed in everything that you do. But once you put the burden on God, trust that He will do the best that He can for your life. And there's no stopping you. There's no stopping what God can do in your life. So with that, may God bless this word.